Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil episode 30?
31.
31!
We did exactly 30 episodes in 2020.
So we'll do like 80 this year, right?
That's... Sure.
So this is the show. This is On the Anvil, the show where we take you behind the scenes at Dwarven Forge, lift up the curtain, let's show you what we do, kind of unfiltered, raw, warts and all. I am Nate, and joined by...
I'm Chris.
And together we are...
Tired.
That's true. We come back from vacation.
See me go straight into exhaustion.
And tonight we have a very, 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 very special guest. All of our guests are very, very special, but Felipe is also very, very special. It's Felipe from Spain. What? Felipe Torrent.
Felipe Torrent from Spain is with us. Hello, Felipe.
Hello there.
Oh, I gotta put headphones on. I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, that'll help.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Hello, sir.
Well, here I am.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you okay.
Perfect.
And it's what? It's like one in the morning there?
Yeah, 1 a.m. here, and still Christmas.
Woo! Well, welcome aboard. Felipe has done a whole bunch of amazing art for us over the course of the last 5-6 years, something since Kickstarter 3, since Cities.
Yeah.
But before we dive in and ask him some hard-hitting questions, did you know we're going to ask you about a lot of hard-hitting questions, Felipe?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm prepared for everything.
Armored up. We're just gonna go over some quick Dwarven Forge news, and then we'll dive into it.
Well, what's that you said? What are we doing?
Oh, what are we doing? We're doing news. News. Welcome to the news.
Welcome to the news.
This is fantasy news. We don't want to go to the real news.
Yeah, fantasy. Yeah, that's fair.
We're gonna stick Dwarven Forge news. So, what's in the news in Dwarven Forge, Chris?
We got a number of things. I guess let's go through the quick schedule-related stuff first. Just get it out of the way. Next week, we've got some Build of the Month stuff going on. First off, the Build of the Month bundle for January will be going up on Tuesday. That same day, we'll also be doing the next building of the Build of the Month stream. So if you want to know what the February bundle will be, we'll be building it there.
So this month's Build of the Month is the Root of All Evil. It's Dread Hollow. It's our first forest build. I'm pretty excited to roll that out. And it's all kind of it's all piling up on the same day. We're releasing this month's at the same time we're shooting. We're doing Building of the Build of the Month for next month. But next month, we're going to change up the schedule. We're going to try and release, from now on, in theory, we're going to aim to have all of our Build of the Months out on the first Tuesday of the month, and the Building of the Build of the Month on the third Tuesday of every month, 2 weeks before we release next week, or something like that. So we're trying to get into a regular schedule, but we'll see. And I think we're going to do Ice for next month.
Nice.
Yeah, we haven't done Ice yet.
I guess, yeah, there hasn't been a single ice build.
Yeah, how Rhyme of the Frost Maiden of us.
It would have been really cool to have actually timed one with Rhyme of the Frost Maiden. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Kickstarter. Yeah, outside of that...
What else is going on in our...
The Hobby Hang is also going to be back tomorrow. And this year, one of the things we're going to be trying to do is... okay, bye. One of the things we're going to be trying to do...
Hobby Hang, I'm out of here.
One of the things we're going to be trying to do is bring in some guests, some guest painters and sculptors to talk to. So if there's anybody, you can see them right over there. So if there's anybody in particular you would like to see, we're going to be reaching out to people. And so if there's anybody you want us to try and bring onto the Hobby Hang, let us know.
Woo! What are you guys painting this week?
We have no idea. We always decide like the day of.
How Dwarven Forge of you?
Yeah, although we have had a couple of requests for things that I'm putting through to Hamster to see. It tends to be more of like a hangout than like a tutorial session, but we'll see. In regards to our pieces, restock. So people have been asking about the January restock. That's going to be happening closer to the end of the month. We don't have an exact day on it yet. It depends on how quickly the container ships and gets here. but it won't be happening until near the end of the month.
But rest assured, we'll talk a lot about it when it happens.
Yeah, and that's going to be a restock of a lot of sets in small quantities. It's going to be one of those. There he goes again.
We're not quite ready. First stream of the year. Woo!
In regards to the Dwarven Forge Fogger, we have. Oh, I don't know if we have it here to show. I don't think we're planning on showing it today.
You know why?
Why?
Somebody left it at home.
That'll do it.
Who was that masked man?
I don't know. I think Hamster left it at your house.
Yeah, clearly it's definitely Hamster.
Yeah. We've developed a new hat for the Fogger to help deal with some condensation issues. It's basically a very slight change, but one that'll hopefully make it more efficient.
Extra topper that's going to come with it. Maybe we'll do it next week when we actually can show it. But
Yeah.
Toby made a good fix. We were getting drip back on it that was shutting it down. So
yeah. So for the people who have been worried about condensation, don't worry. We're doing condensation checks and making sure that we make the changes we need to make to.
Instead, you can worry about a giant puddle on your table. But we'll tell you that next week.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't leave it in their basement.
We've had some people asking about the when we'll be doing beans for the next Kickstarter.
Let's start with Dread Hollow first before the
Dread Hollow first?
feature.
Right. We want to talk briefly about the Dread Hollow repaint that has been coming out. We've had a lot of questions about that. We're trying to address it on other platforms as well, but we might as well cover it here.
Fundamentally, so the problem with Dread Hollow paint was our initial paint scheme was overly ambitious. It was too many steps, and the factory couldn't consistently do it. Right, I have Dread Hollow pieces from multiple paint runs that are even from the same paint run that are all over the place and don't match well and whatever. And it was a huge issue going into Wildlands. Aaron is like, what am I even painting to? Like, if we paint, we had like 5 different looking things on her desk of the same piece in like essentially almost 5 different paint schemes from the factory. They're all supposed to be the same paint scheme. She's like, what am I painting to? Like, how do I match, like, am I matching our old prototypes? Because these aren't matching those and whatever things. So it was a whole thing with factory. So we had to revise the paint scheme so that it could be consistent, which it is now, which is awesome. But it's not as compatible with some people's Dread Hollow match it better than others because the original Dread Hollow is so inconsistent. It doesn't consistently match. Like, I have pieces that match wonderfully well at home, and I have pieces that match terribly with the new. But they also match terribly with each other because they're so inconsistent. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to fix. So
that's the issue we've been having, basically. So there's been some people asking, like, well, is it just that we would need to pay more money to have that because it's time intensive? It's like it's not a time thing. It's not a money thing.
Our factory couldn't execute the paint scheme. They thought they could. They tried. They gave it, but it's all over the damn boards. And we should do a lineup of some of the range. It's bonkers.
Because like the issue is because when we got the masters back initially, we were like, yeah, this looks great. But then when it got to the mass production phase where you have a bunch of different painters doing these pieces.
Well, their one A-list paint woman, she was like, she's like, oh yeah, no problem, I can do this. And then they got to the rest of the line and they're like, whoa, step 19, what do I do? And it was just, it was just a mess. So
yeah, the reality is mass production is just a different beast.
And it's a bummer, right? I don't like changing any of our stuff. I don't want to, having to, anytime we've changed any of our paints or any of our things, it's a pain, particularly for people who have all the other stuff, but also like we were getting terrible, like our results were all over the boards and a lot of them were really bad. Really bad. Our new results are consistent across the boards and cleaner, and it's a simple thing.
And it was frustrating because then when it comes to like sending people replacements, we couldn't even rely on the replacements also matching the scheme.
No, it was a mess. But
and so I saw some concerns as well. Something we should address real quick in regards to that is people are wondering, is the Wildlands paint scheme going to be changing? No, because
we matched it to this.
Yeah,
this was so that Aaron could paint that Wildlands consistently, and based on what we learned from getting them to do a consistent paint scheme, on Dread Hollow, that's how she based the paint scheme on Wildlands. And even like she painted all of the swamp pieces and then repainted them to match this better when we got our factory samples back. Simplified the swamp a little bit so it would match better. So that everything that we showed in the Kickstarter was the stuff that the second round, she repainted. She must have painted 300 swamp pieces a second time to get it to be consistent and to match the stuff and whatever.
Yeah. So basically the point is we figured this out before we showed you stuff from Wildlands, so that we can guarantee that it is going to match the stuff from Wildlands.
Well, because that was the big concern. It's like, man, we want Wildlands to be consistent, and we want it to match. But anyways, that's and we tried our best to tell everybody about it. We maybe talked about it on here. We put it in our updates. We put it on the website when it went live.
But the problem is you can never guarantee you're going to reach everybody, and so some people still didn't get the information.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. It's not a thing we wanted to do, but it's a thing that we had to do to guarantee that we would have a consistent product going forward.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's talk about the future moving forward. So we're cooking away on the next Kickstarter. We haven't broken clay officially yet, but we've got a ton of sketches kicking around, a bunch of stuff modeling out mocks in 3D. We have direction. We have some stuff. And I think what we'll do is in February, I think we can do an On the Anvil episode about what's to come and kind of what our concepts are and whatever. After we're going to brief the team at some point in February, share internally, hey, here's everything that we've put together in the last couple of months. Here's where we're at. So we'll have something to look forward to. We'll share with you guys, hey, this is kind of what we're looking at. And then we'll start, the initial premise of the show is to show the development process, whatever. So we'll start showing some stuff on there, and you get to see it develop out, and then eventually launch, hopefully in October of 2021, this year, 9 months from now, which terrifies me. But we'll see, one thing at a time.
People are asking for just one bean. It's like I don't think we even have beans to give at this point.
Nothing has been sculpted except for the things that have been sculpted. We have some stuff in the vault that we sculpted. That
was such a Yogi Berra quote.
It's not sculpted. It's sculpted. No, we'll show some stuff as soon as we can. We'll get some stuff cooking. But we showed that the roof. We showed that thatched roof. I don't know.
That's true. Although we also haven't. We don't know if we're doing that piece, right? Like that was like.
We got it. It's a fogger.
We got to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's happening.
Okay. So I guess that's your bean for the day.
Yeah.
Is that thatched roof is coming back?
Go find
I
that
guess.
episode and there's your bean. Anyway, let's get. Do we have anything else, or can we talk about?
That seemed like all the news.
All right.
To me, it's everything I have written down. We don't have a reverse news. I need to just put that news animation in reverse.
Swen. It's news backwards.
Sown. Wait, no, it is Swen. It's 4 letters, and I still can't. All right.
All right. So welcome we need a thing that says guest. Guest.
I don't know if that's the way to appropriately approach like every. Oh man, it reminds me. Fine.
All right. So hello, Felipe. We are ready to bring you in live, and please feel free to remind me to slow down if I'm talking too fast, because you're ever so brave in coming on here. Right, English is not your native language, even though you're fully fluent.
If you see me doing this thing, it's because I don't understand you.
But you always do that thing.
No, just joking. Hey, Happy New Year, everyone.
Hi, Happy New Year. Oh, yeah, I guess we should have said that. This is our first stream after the New Year.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a good holiday. What did you do for the holiday, Felipe?
Nothing. Just being at home and be safe. I have plenty of entertainment here.
That's fair.
So,
did you play any D&D?
No, I played Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Classic Christmas game.
Do you do terrain and stuff for Cthulhu, or did you just play Theater of the Mind?
No, theater of mind. I think Cthulhu is a game for
Yes.
thinking, for imagining.
That's fair.
Just using your imagination.
It involves a lot of visual concepts that you can't really
You
put.
don't want to quantify it with terrain because it's not as scary as.
The whole point is the unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it's Cthulhu Online by Roll20, it's okay, it's cool, but it's not the same.
No.
This is made to be played face to face.
Well, because it
Low
kind
lights,
of. Yeah, because
candles,
it kind of has the effect
scary
of.
music.
Yeah, because it kind of has the effect of telling ghost stories around a campfire. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
Cthulhu on Roll20 is a lot better than not playing Cthulhu at all.
Of course.
You know, I'll
It
take
is.
that in a heartbeat. And I was just saying this on Twitter today. I've been playing more D&D remotely than I ever did when I was waiting to play in person. Like it's made my scheduling easier. Like it's just, you know, I love it. I mean, nonstop on Vorpal now after our episode. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about getting everybody in the same place anymore.
Yeah, I've done 4 sessions on Vorpal since our last stream. 3 weeks
We left
ago.
our campaign in Avernus, the D&D campaign, and we are still waiting for the master. Master,
Is he
to
listening?
continue the adventure. If he's hearing me, please.
Should we
We
send
want to
him?
continue the adventure and magic items.
Should we send some dwarves over to his door to?
Should give everybody his email address. Just ask them to harass him.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Yeah. So Felipe, so you are here because you are a supremely talented artist who's done a lot of really cool work for us. But before we show off a bunch of the really cool things that you've designed, I want to talk about baby Felipe, right? Where did you come from? How did you end up doing art? How did you end up playing D&D? How did you end up being such a big geek? Like, you know.
Well, baby Felipe used to draw giant robots, Japanese giant robots. We know as Mazinger Z, but you know as Transor. I think in the United States it's known as Transor or something like that. Well, it's a giant robot with a Japanese guy in its head.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not Transformers because it has somebody inside. Yeah.
The Transformers came later, but yes, they were there too. And well, it was until I was a teenager, 13 or 15, that I got involved in drawing dragons, and it was all Dragonlance fault.
Because based on like the Elmore Dragonlance covers.
Yeah, if you have it there, you can put a drawing I sent you, Chris, which is one of my first drawings in the beginnings, the number 2. This is a work I did for high school. Of course, you know, the classic work of high school about a book. It was about Dragonlance because it was the only book worthy at the time.
It blew my mind. Dragonlance was like, yeah, I couldn't believe what was happening.
Is that this one right
and
here?
then I had to wait for the next one to come out, and I was like, is this like...
Wow, that is... Is this the right one?
Coordenadas de Juegos...
Oh.
My Spanish?
No,
Juegos de Rol?
that's another one. That's the second.
Second.
This was done for...
Is it this one right?
That's
Oh.
awesome.
Let's try and... Oh, these are all different sizes.
This is 1995, I think. A lot of time ago. That's a con. That's what you know as a con, and we know it Jornada de Juegos de Rol.
This one is so much. This one's so much bigger. Oh wow.
Oh, it says Dragonlance.
Oh yeah. That's the one.
Did you read Dragonlance in Spanish or was it in English?
No, in Spanish. I didn't know enough English to read Dragonlance in an original.
So it must have been selling well for them to translate it in, right? Like it must have...
In fact, the first book of Dragonlance in the original, I think it's Dragons of Autumn and Twilight.
Yeah.
Maybe. Here it was the Return of the Dragons, El Retorno de los Dragones. I don't know why.
Well, it's like Star Wars Episode 4, right? You kick off,
Yeah.
the first one is 4. What?
Yeah, similar. Well, that was the first. That was the cover. I don't remember if the work was well done or not, but the cover was good. Teacher loved the cover. So that's Kishant, the black dragon. You remember?
Yeah.
That scene was frightening for teenage Felipe. And I love dragons ever since.
And then how did you get, did Dragonlance get you into D&D?
Yep. But there was not, the game was not published in Spain until later. We knew it because some friends, some older brother of a friend that knew a friend of his cousin, and he brought some photocopies from London. I mean, the people did photocopies of the photocopies of the photocopies, and it was something terrible. And we didn't know English very well too.
So wait, you had like a
Wait.
fourth generation bootleg copy of
Yeah.
like the player's handbook that you could barely read. That's the best.
Through dangers untold.
Yeah. Well, because the rules didn't really matter that much. If at least in my early days of it, like the rules were much less important than the fact that you were sitting down telling the story. And if you couldn't figure out THAC0 and all, it didn't really, it was, you just needed to know enough to roll a 20 and kind of roughly what a hit was and what your stats were. But the rest was kind of just let's just sit down and tell a story, and I don't know, not let it get in the way.
You only need some hints, and then the story evolves and tells herself or itself. Yeah, it was amazing. And then after that, there was the drawings of the pictures of the cons I told you, which are there. If you want, you can put the Chris, you can put the drawings.
So what comic books were you reading at that time?
At the time, the teenage Felipe read the X-Men.
Yeah.
I'm an X-Men child.
Who was your favorite?
Wolverine.
I was a Nightcrawler guy.
Yeah, Nightcrawler. Yeah. It's the role-playing rogue.
Yep. The swashbuckling elf. It was like.
Yeah. I have a treasure. The limited series of Wolverine Honor, signed by Chris Claremont.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a treasure for me. But yes, I love the X-Men, and that was the picture for the con. And there's another with a dragon attacking a party, but instead of flames or thunder or whatever, it's like throwing dice.
Ha!
To the PCs.
Wait, you did this when you were 15?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Wow, this is.
I'm not that good.
This is very impressive.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just getting
this
closer
is my
to get the
first
details.
party, and that's the dragon with the dice.
How old were you when you did this?
I don't remember. That was like 1997, or more or less.
It's interesting. Your
I think
style.
I was about 20.
Your style
something.
hasn't changed that much. You're it's in your DNA, right? This is you're 30 years later. It's still very I can look at this and tell that you did it. It's awesome.
Perhaps I should do a remake of this stuff, because I love the idea of the dice.
Yeah. Love that.
It's very cool.
So you were able to find friends who wanted to play D&D, and read some X-Men with you, whatever. And then did you sort of play nonstop? Did you ever take a break?
We played every week in a school. where we were at high school then, but we found a room for ourselves. We asked the teacher if we can use it, for they didn't ask. I think. Fortunately, they didn't ask, but yeah, for cultural things, I guess. And well, they left us the room, and there we start playing with the sheets, the character sheets done by ourselves.
Awesome. Yeah, just to take a
Yeah,
piece of paper and you draw the little boxes and
yeah,
off you went.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's a thing I miss from the first books of of, of rules of D&D, the original D&D, the pictures. Nowadays, pictures are awesome. They are computer generated and they are impressive with characters, amazing, and light effects. There's a lot of things, and it's very cool. But the old ink, black ink over white paper of the old books, it's like when a friend of yours draws your character
Yes.
in the game, right in the game, and say, "Hey, you did this, or you killing an orc, or whatever." It's like more close to you,
It's
closer to you.
it was there's a raw intimacy. Like it wasn't this highly polished work. It was
Yeah,
there was something like, oh yeah, like I could have drawn that, or like there's definitely some of the art in the AD&D books that is, it's not mind blowing. It's not the best thing you've ever seen, but there is a very personal, like,
you
yeah, I
make it
loved it.
yours.
Yeah,
It's like your friends drawing in the game.
yeah,
Nowadays, they are impressive, but you think, well, I'll never do this in my whole life.
yeah.
But
Oh, it's
precious
there's
mountains with clouds and special effects and all the things. I like that. I like it. But
well,
the other thing has
each
a
piece is like
special
a
place.
100 hour. It's like 100 hours of work for each piece, and there's
Yeah.
700 pieces in the book. You're like, there's never, yeah, it's something. So then, what do you do? Did you turn art into a career, or is it still a hobby for you?
At times, I work at a school as a teacher, and as long as I don't have all the hours, I've been 50-50 working on art and, well, teaching art, which is another way of working in art. Nowadays, it's more complicated because I have full-time work and I don't have so much time. But I always will be drawing because it's what I like.
So are any of the kids you're teaching art to, are they drawing dragons?
Some of them are.
Good.
They pass the subject. I don't tell them, but if I see a kid or a girl drawing, I don't know, a dragonborn, Dovahkiin, or something like that, or just ask me, hey, this is because I have stickers of the ampersand and D&D stuff and D&D pins and everything. That's Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, you passed. You are A plus. You don't have to do anything.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
But don't you should push those kids further, right? If they know D&D, they've got potential. Like you gotta push, you gotta go harder on the D&D kids because they're the smart ones, right? That's
I
the
I try,
Yeah, make
but
them make
it's
them
hard.
work. They gotta yeah. Are their dragons good? Do they inspire you?
Well, we have that's a wide
Yeah.
range of talent. There's I found some kid that especially a girl, which was awesome. In fact, I was even jealous. How can you draw like this with only 13, 14 years?
Wow.
Come on, I'm going to cut off your hands. I can't allow you to rise levels.
This is too good.
I'm evil, and I know
Uh,
it.
so, are there more kids play that are know about D&D than when you were 13 or 14? Is it definitely more? widespread?
Here it's not very popular.
Yeah.
When I was younger, it was even less popular. But nowadays, it's not fashionable. It's not like in the States, which is trendy and everybody plays. We have
Well, only
some
the let's be
Spanish.
clear, only the cool people play. Like it's
Yeah, well,
yeah.
okay.
Well,
We
in
have some.
my son's school, the woman who teaches the after school programs, she's a huge critter and wears the ampersand shirt to school, and the the head tech guy there is a big D&D geek. Like they found out that I've had Tour de Forge and they're like what, and so I started like whatever in there I get peppered. So there's at least 2 teachers that are actively play D&D, and I don't know how many of the student body whatever, but so it's definitely way more prevalent than when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I've played with a number of people who were teachers recently. One of the DMs for a game I did online for a bit was a teacher, and like another person in the group was also a teacher.
Wow.
And a lot of people in education right now are apparently playing.
I had one substitute teacher in 7th grade who played. I was reading some Michael Moorcock book, and he came over kind of quietly during thing. He was like, "Hey, what do you did you read the Chronicles of Corum and this?" I was like, "Yeah, now I'm doing Elric and this," and he was like super excited because it was like he saw hope as like the next generation.
That's such an exciting thing when you're a kid, and like an adult like authority figure has like a. I remember talking about Mass Effect with one of my teachers in high school, and just like the fact that they knew Mass Effect was.
Well, there's this weird divide between the teacher and student. Suddenly they're like they like the thing you like, and it just doesn't.
Wait, they're human?
Yeah.
Like what?
Wow.
Yeah.
They look at you strangely, like, how do you know that? Like, no, the question is, how do you know that?
Yeah.
This is my
I mean,
secret knowledge. Like,
Okay,
yeah,
that's it.
I love it. So how did you get into? Well, first of all, what editions of D&D have you played? Did you play from first edition all the way up through 5th? Did you skip for a while?
Not not first edition, but AD&D. Second edition's AD&D was my first. But no, I think that was the first book I bought in a library, official and real. But the photocopies, you have to think that the photocopies were not a binding book, but were papers.
Pages.
We have to order. They were not even from page 1 to the last page. They were like, take this and the rest. I don't know where's the rest. I have from page 1 to 10, then from 20 to 30, 7.
Man.
And you have to invent the rest.
But then did you play 3rd edition or 3.5 or 4th edition, 5th edition?
All the editions from 2nd edition AD&D I have played.
And which is your favorite?
I have special love for 2nd edition because it was my first. But I recognize that is very, I don't know. You can be an elf, but you can't be a paladin if you are an elf. Why not? Then came 3 and 3.5, which everyone can be everything. But it was a very good edition. But the point is that we played from 1 month to another. So if you have too much rules, which are very good because you have a rule for everything, but you forgot the rule for 1 month to another, and you have to do a lot of search. And you search because the rule is there, but you don't remember it. So you lose a lot of time looking for it. But it was a very good edition. Then the 4th, I know people don't like the 4th, but we spent a good time with the 4th edition.
There's some great
Good game.
Yeah, there's some great things in fourth edition. Like
Matt Colville does some videos where he basically talks about taking some of the stuff that they introduced in fourth edition and how to convert it into fifth edition. Because he's like, there's some really cool ideas here, and it's unfortunate to, like stuff like minions.
I love
and
minions.
stuff like that, like being able to like bring that stuff in, because there were some really cool ideas. It just might have shaken things up too much.
A lot of neat world building, and they sort of solidified a bunch of the things that I think there's a lot of great stuff that gets kind of, I don't know, somehow thrown out or forgotten because they're like, it's fourth edition. Blah, blah, blah.
The bloodied version of the card, when you are bloodied.
It's awesome.
You can do more things.
Yeah. And that's when you know the bad guy, like, the monster has this crazy thing now. You're like, okay, we made progress, but now it's doing double damage, but we gotta, like, I don't know, it's like, it was really cool.
Dragos is saying his favorite part of second edition was Planescape.
Planescape was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tony Di Terlizzi. It's the soul of Planescape.
It was amazing. Sigil. Like,
oh yeah.
So,
Lady of Pain.
And now you're playing fifth edition, right? You have the Aarakocra party still your.
Yep.
Is it a whole party of Aarakocra?
Yep. We are the Aarakocra party. No, we are not Aarakocras. We are Aarakocra party because it's fourth edition's fault. Because the Aarakocra was always the first monster in the compendium, because the double A. And in every edition, you want to open the monster compendium, which is it's amazing, a new monster compendium, and you open it, and the first monster always is the Aarakocra, but not in fourth edition. So what happened with the Aarakocra? We missed the Aarakocra, so we named ourselves the Aarakocra party.
So you did first.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would actually be an entire party of Aarakocra.
Back.
That's so good.
If you had a whole party that could fly, that would mess with the DM so much. If everybody was an Aarakocra or a Kanku.
That'd be awesome.
My DM will not allow that. Flying party, come on. Are you kidding me?
When I did that one shot with the dungeon dudes, Monty's one rule, he's like, you can take any magic item you want, but no flying, period. He's just like, I don't care. He's like, anything gets you up, but no flying. Just, yeah.
We do have one question, actually. People are wondering if any of your art is for sale. If you have a...
Talk about your link.
If you want to give me the link, actually, I can get that in the chat so people can support you.
I have, a little store, very, very little store. If you want, you can put some drawings. It's on D&D shop, and here we have.
Is that shirt? Is that dragon shirt that won the contest? Is that on there?
There are two designs. One is the dragon with the dice, and the other one is Sariel from Avernus.
Oh,
there's another one. There's a third with is a homage to one of my favorite anime movies.
Which one is that?
I want you to guess it.
I'm very excited to see it, actually.
Is it a horror movie? Poster?
Anime. If it's Akira, I swear.
Yeah.
It is Akira, or no?
Undoubtedly Akira.
Yeah.
It is. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to see you draw Akira. That's.
Of Kaneda walking to his bike.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I picture a devil.
One of my favorite shots in that movie, or just things that they do in general, is the way that the tail light on the motorcycle kind of ghosts as he moves through the space. Yeah, they have the tail lights of the motorcycles like linger, and it's that's so cool.
That Zariel image you did is sick too. That's a really good. And the dragon shirt, that was a contest, right? Didn't you win? Was that an official D&D contest? Who was that?
It was a contest of the page that is for fans by fans, and was hosted by D&D, by Wizards of the Coast. So there was some prizes. I don't remember how many. I think they selected five, uh,
And
but
you were one of the five.
I don't remember well. But I was one of the five, and I have an original D&D T-shirt, so it makes me very proud.
It should. It's well deserved. So, do you have that link?
I'm trying to find the store link. Yeah, if you have a chance to send me the link to your store, I'll get that in the chat so people can look at your stuff. Because we got a couple people asking. People really like your drawings in the chat.
Well, let's talk about how those drawings have affected Dwarven Forge. So first I guess how did you get into terrain? How did you start with Dwarven Forge and with terrain?
Long story, very long story.
Well, we have an hour and 15 minutes, so let's go.
Well, in a nutshell, my friends, my party, we knew Dwarven Forge because Stefan, and we fell in love with the terrain. That was inevitable, but here in Spain it's very complicated to get it. I'm speaking of the time when the pieces were made of
Resin,
polystone.
Yeah.
And well, we tried to make a purchase so we can know how much money it was the shipping. At least it was very expensive, so we left it.
Well, the shipping was almost as much as the set. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was $100 for a resin set and $100 for the shipping.
Yeah. And a possible thing of the, we call it thing, of the customs, which also can ask you for more money.
Oh.
And I don't know how are they in the States, but here the postman brings you the package and he says, you have to pay 50 euros if you want it, but they don't notify you before. They at your door they give you the the stuff if you pay.
They don't do that here. That was because that's the mafia does that. They should.
Yeah, that's what we thought. So we could afford nothing, anything. So we waited, and they opened a store in UK. So long ago.
Yeah, Thad's
Bazaar.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was my first room and passage.
Nice.
Set. And Wicked Editions.
Yeah, Wicked Editions
a
1.
Classic.
The first.
Yep.
Yeah. With the big mouth, the mouth wall.
Yeah. The green.
Yeah, the big green.
With the mouth.
Yep.
And the little stairs. It was amazing, the touch of the figures, of the terrain, the cold touch. It looks like stone, like real stone.
Yeah.
The painting was awesome. It was like an art object to put it and look at it, and that's all. It was perfect. And then it came the cavern set, which is amazing. It's even more amazing than the room passage.
Well, the water, especially
sculpture.
The water was outrageous. Like yeah.
Yeah, and the smell of polystone, the touch, the cold feeling, it's amazing. And the catacombs.
Yeah.
And then the gig started. There came Stefan with the Dwarvenite. And we tried the Dwarvenite. We liked the Dwarvenite, and here we are.
So in Kickstarter 3, that was the first time you drew some stuff, right? You did a congratulations piece. Do we have that congrats piece?
Yeah, we have.
Let me see. Is that in Dwarven Forge Beginnings?
Yep.
Yeah, here it is.
Was the $2 million breakdown or?
Yeah,
we broke 2 million.
Bam. Okay, let me just get this place here.
That's
excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bam. This right here.
Hossa! 2 millions.
It's awesome. And what immediately was exciting about this is that it was the pieces. Like it wasn't
That's
some
it.
generic thing. Like it was something like, wait a second, those are the Tudor roofs, and that's the Valorian lion from Roaring Lion Square, and it was like, wait, who is this guy? Like, what's going on? It was just like, it was really. I remember Stefan getting like just all fired up. He was like, wow, haha, this is like, yeah, it was really cool.
I got very involved in that Kickstarter because it was amazing. I remember watching it before the Kickstarter. You, well, the KS1 and KS2 were amazing too, but they were the same mechanic of the pieces, the square pieces. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you do the dungeon or the cavern, all modular. But this was different. I remember that you put a photo before the Kickstarter during the countdown, and it was like a view of Valoria in the night with
Yeah.
some lights, and I was talking with my friends, and we were saying this just cannot be. This is a drawing of a painting. These guys have put, because if this is real, I'm going to want everything.
So we're in
I
trouble.
mean,
This is
this
bad
is
news.
water deep.
Yeah.
This
And it
is
was
water
real.
deep, and it's real, and it's not a paper with squares, and it's real, and it was real. And you don't have only the buildings, but the coin. You have the map. And Stefan knows it as if it was real. I think he knows every street. If he closes his eyes, he can walk through the streets of Valoria and knows what street goes to what square or what building or what temple. It feels real.
Yeah. But he has a whole 3-foot map of Valoria. He's drawn out every house, and like it's really, that's his brain in there. And then he had Stefan had you draw some scenes in Valoria for the module, right? There was
Yeah,
a couple of really cool. There's the Gilded Hill. Do you have those like?
yeah, we have it. But if you want, we can see the most difficult drawing I have done for you, which is the view from the wizard's
The
tower.
tower on the Gilded Hill down out over the bay with the Temple
Yeah.
of Poseidon and like
Let's
yeah,
see.
Wizard's color.
The Tower of Wizardry.
It's the bottom, the last
Yeah.
one in color. Is
Yeah,
the
the
final.
tower.
Do you want to see the final product, or do you want to see the early
No,
stages?
if you want, you can put everything
Do this.
rolling because there are a lot of pictures here.
Do the
The point is
slideshow.
that
Yeah.
yes, that's it. Slideshow. Stefan wanted a view from Valoria, from the wizard's tower. So he gave me the map of Valoria, which is here too, and I have to draw the rest of the city, but not putting a bunch of buildings there, but the exact location of every building.
Well, and it's a made up city that you have no reference for. And there's one overhead map, but in
Yep.
his brain it's like he has a very 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 specific picture of it in his brain. Except that picture doesn't exist anywhere other than this
Yeah.
overhead map, and you're translating that into 3 dimensions. Like,
Now you can see on the screen it's a sketch and another sketch. First, I divided the parts of the city and I put them in perspective with vanishing points. But sometimes the reality doesn't match the things I want to show, because the houses in the end they overlay one to other, and
Yeah.
the result was not good. So we had to find the exact point to show all of them, and Stefan knows the map exactly and all the things that are there. So he is a little of the process. This is the wizard's tower with the wizard speaking, wizard things, and the slope which goes to the city. It was not very steep, and even the slope has to be as steep as Stefan has in his mind.
Which you don't know until you is it this, is it this, is it this, is it this, is it...
So I did a bunch of sketches and tests, and finally it was done.
And so all of it was based off of using this map right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all based off of this map.
And that's a 3-foot wide map that literally, like, Stefan has this huge, which he did on pieces of paper and glued, like, taped them together, and, like, it was a...
That's the map.
Yeah.
That's the original map.
Do the final final color.
Yeah. And so then the way your wizard tower ended up looking...
Woohoo!
I think you should release this map so we can frame it and put it, because the map is awesome.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Amazing.
Hand drawn every little bit. And, yeah. So then you survived. You survived
that's
this.
The final version.
You survived this somehow.
Yeah.
And then you did a bunch of these scenes, and then we went into Dungeon of Doom, and there was... I don't remember how it happened, but we had at the very we didn't know what the miniature was going to be in one of the encounters, the menagerie, and so I was like, oh, we'll have the backers vote on it. It'd be a thing, and so we needed to sort of quickly generate art for 4 different characters, and I don't remember how we ended up saying, oh yeah, Felipe is just the guy, but Felipe was just the guy, right? So you did 4 different character sketches, which then backers voted on, and they chose Oswaline, the tiefling. We had a Rakshasa and a rat folk, a female rat folk, and can't remember. She ended up coming out in Caverns Deep. We made her.
Yep.
I don't remember the Rakshasa. Do you have the Oswaline? We were looking at it before. It was like
I think
full color, tall.
Yeah,
I don't
this
have
one right here.
the miniature of Oswaline.
No, but we've got the... Yeah, I can't find it here either. I know where it is at home. Yeah, this was the Oswaline. So this was like the first... This was the first design, like character design piece you did. She became Cool Mini. And then Drew ended up putting her sword over her head. Drew Williams sculpted her. But it was... I feel like you did some details of the armor too that you sent over or something. I feel like, right, we sent him some very specific, because you got all these cool faces in the right, in her pauldrons and on her armor and stuff, and I think
that's a remake I did. The first one didn't
black
look
and white
so good.
Yeah, she's awesome. Now she has an advice column. Oswaline's advice. So then you, then in Caverns Deep rolled around, and there was a whole bunch of stuff, right? So you did, we had you do the,
the bullet.
You did a teaser, didn't you do a teaser?
Yep.
Right, an animated. I forgot about that. You did the animated teaser in After Effects or whatever before we launched.
The party facing the Dungeon of Doom and Salta looking at the scrying wall.
And then
the menace and the comic book.
But you ended up doing a bunch of the miniatures from that, which I have. We can show the before and after. Do we have the mimic?
We do.
Quadruped mimic.
I don't have here.
Yeah, he's got it. So this was, I wanted to do a big mimic, and I wanted it to not be like your standard issue. I wanted it to be more ferocious and bestial, whatever. And originally I said, oh, it should be a quadruped or whatever. So you did a pass on that, which was cool.
Oh, there
But
it is.
yeah, but then
That's a version of the mimic.
you said, you know what? I have an idea. Can I try something? You said I really liked John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah,
Can I try something?
completely based on the thing.
Yeah. And then you sent this thing, and I was like, what? And then Todd Harris took that. I feel like, yeah, this was the one with the split legs and everything. And it was too hard to mold exactly like that. But cut to the go to the close-up cam. I have the mini here that got sculpted out of that guy.
Yeah, that's how it ended.
Yeah.
Everything is connected. The thing is so Lovecraftian, and this is also very Cthulhian, so amorphous.
Yeah, and the best part was that he reverse engineered the pile of gear. So he took everything that was in your mimic, the chest and the shield and the helmet and the pauldrons and all those pieces into the pile of gear. So we had the pile of gear that matches, that then can turn into the mimic. This thing was awesome with the mouth. There were 3 mouths, right? There's a mouth on the back. Like you went berserk. Like this was this is such classic Felipe, where you just went crazy. And Todd saw that art and he was like, "What is this?" He's like, "I got to." And this is the original that Hamster painted too. This is the resin paint master. So that was amazing. That was such an exciting piece. And then you did. Do we have the art for the doors? Did he send that?
Let me see.
I should have got a frame for these doors. So this was a fun. We needed dwarven doors, and wasn't that it? The dwarven doors.
I've got some
Double doors.
aberration doors.
Oh,
Aberration
those we
double
never
doors.
made. Oh yeah.
You need dwarven gates. You need dwarven gates for the city.
We keep hearing that. People keep
You don't
saying
know
that.
it.
Well, I don't know if we have the sketch for this, but my favorite thing on here is the negative space, right? We did a bunch of things for the dwarf door, and you made the negative space in there forms an anvil. Which was awesome.
It's an anvil with a flame inside.
Yeah. Michelle sculpted this up. It was such a great. You did this cool art deco. We did. I mean, I think you did like 10 door designs. Like I'm like, no, if we're doing dwarven doors, it's got to be a thing. Like I feel like I made you do a lot of designs get to this.
Yeah,
we do
there's
have
a lot of doors.
These doors.
You've probably done 20 different door designs.
I can send you the doors if you want.
Yeah.
We've got these aberration doors.
Do we have the Minotaur? Right? Wasn't this a Felipe?
Let me check real quick. I believe so, because he has the Minotaur with him right now. I don't see the Minotaur in here.
No, those are at the aberrations door, but they didn't make it.
Well, they may someday. How about the? Do we have the necrotic tendril?
I don't see the necrotic tendril.
Well, I'll show these 2 minis, and then we'll go to the next guy we've got.
Sure.
So this was the right. You did the concept of this guy, didn't you? Am I making that up? The Minotaur, or did you not? Yeah, remember his tongue was hanging out and everything.
Yes, a lot of doors.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you.
And then this guy, do you remember this guy, Felipe? The weird chicken foot tendril. Crazy. Yeah. You did this guy, the tendril that had like weird talons in it.
That looks messed up.
Yeah, that's classic Felipe. It's it's like 80s horror, 70s, 80s horror film, Cthulhian inspired weirdness.
Feels like the precursor to the Lemur pit.
Yeah. And then we needed our displacer beast that was not a displacer beast, so we wouldn't get sued, right? So it's like, what can you do? We're doing an Arctic phalanx. We need a mount for our Yorgrim Jarl, and we did a bunch of passes trying to get this guy down. I feel like
I sent you the doors, Chris. on
Excellent.
Slack.
I'll get those ready. Just a moment. Boom. So there's the
So
displacer
that was
beast.
this was the Arctic phalanx, right? Definitely inspired by He-Man's Battle Cat, right?
Yeah,
With it, and so it was like, well, let's make the tendrils spiky, and the like, well, we'll have them be harpoon based and have the whole thing be shaggier. And you did all these details for the armor, right? You broke apart the armor plating for Drew, and then this was a piece I had Drew re-sculpt. He got about halfway through and it wasn't working, and I had him re-sculpt it to get there because it just wasn't as majestic. Like that art was so ridiculous that the mini wasn't there. And so then the second pass through, he spent like a week on it, and then we went back to square one and he started over. And God, you put horns on the helmet, right? It's got Barding with a helmet with horns, so that so it would look like the Orgrim. And I was like,
that's
this guy,
your dream culture.
Yeah, you got horns on everything. First it was horns, then it was antlers. It was like,
Horns are trendy.
yeah.
Horns are trendy.
Well, you're always telling us what's trendy, Felipe.
Yeah. Horns, antlers, ribs.
Ribs are in now, yeah.
Ribs are the new antlers.
Yeah, this guy was this. And this was the kind of thing Drew gets so fired up when he gets good concept art. It's like we get the best sculpting out of him. And this was the thing. Like even the beard, like has the chin beard is braided because it's Yorgrim culture, and like I don't know. You went crazy on this. And this once again, this is the hamster painted original resin piece.
And then we've got his door art.
Oh yeah, let's see the doors
right here. Here's 6 of them. We've got geometric, eldritch, vault, militaristic, aberrant, and dark elf.
And none of these actually survived.
Yeah.
These were.
And then we've got these.
Oh yeah.
You see the anvil door in the middle bottom.
Oh yeah, the back of that one reinforced. Oh yeah, and there's the anvil. That's the one. So the anvil and the reinforced number 1 were the 2 final. If you pop back, I've got the back of the doors is reinforced number 1. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then the anvil was the.
I never knew there was an anvil in that.
Yeah.
That's so clever.
It's such a neat. That was a fun. I forgot all these. There are so many exploration pieces you've done, Felipe, over like all the iterations.
I really like the Art Deco doors, actually.
Yeah.
It's like a very fancy. That'd be really cool to bring back, actually.
Well, there's a lot of that stuff is in the anvil design. We were kind of chasing an Art Deco thing. You can see in the final anvil, like the corners have the Art Deco sunbursts, and like, yeah, it was definitely. Felipe said Art Deco is all the rage. It's hip, so it worked. So then let's look at what do we have? The Plague Stone, the Hellfire Furnace. This thing. Did you send that?
I can send you.
Yeah,
that's Hellscape stuff.
This was Plague Stone, right? Before Hellscape, or right after.
Yeah,
Hellscape.
it's right after Hellscape.
I think we were sculpting this before. I can't remember the order of it all.
Plague Stone was like a weird.
It happened right after Hellscape, but we sculpted it beforehand. I think because we had it in production. I don't know.
Plague Stone was such a bizarre production cycle compared to everything else.
I don't know. What is time? You did a bunch of designs for the cauldron, and for these the dragon heads, and the whole caboodle. That was a really fun bit. So Hellscape. This was a fun one. So we got near the end of Hellscape, or partway. It was in the middle of the campaign at some point. I was like, Felipe, we need a monster. Like, we need something, some big monster. And we never even hit the stretch goal, but we ended up unlocking it. But I was like, we need something. What can you do? And you jammed out this Cerberus Warhound. Start with the first batch of heads. Oh yeah, you can start there. That's a good.
Start with the poses.
Yeah. Right. So we started exploring. This was a fun one. This was like, I feel like this is one of the deepest. Like I don't know. We dove in and did a whole bunch of explorations. Yeah. Right. Do we have a snake tail? Do we not? Is it on rocks? Is it climbing up? Is it climbing down? How does it look majestic? What do you, this? And then we need to have batteries in there, and we have
That's
to
it.
Yeah.
Different poses. It was an amazing beast to design.
Yeah,
it's easy when you tell
start
me
the head.
Three-headed dog. Well, it's awesome.
Oh, and then you were like, well, is it a bulldog? Is it a?
It can't go wrong.
Is it a Rottweiler? Is it an evil cat? Where's the, And I was like, oh, Rottweiler is.
That one on the top left looks so different.
Yep.
Is that nuts?
Yeah, that's a wild. It looks like it's like inside like a, like the helmet basically.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And it's got like spikes coming out of its mouth, and it's like. Does it have a rune on its forehead? Yeah.
It looks like it. That, or it's just like its kind of squishy forehead.
And then we have, what was the... you spent a whole bunch of time figuring out armor pieces.
You got some armor here too.
Yeah, look at that. The gorget or pauldron combo or whatever it is on a dog. Right, like this was with infernal runes.
It had the bulky body of the Rottweiler, but the stylized shapes of the Doberman.
Yeah.
Doberman's faces.
Oh yeah, look at that armor, like breaking down the armor and this is all stuff we gave to Drew, because this was a thing Drew was sculpting like 2 weeks. We had we had a week left. We got this thing. Maybe he started it right as we launched or something, but we got this master like a few days before the campaign ended or something. But he needed, like, you gave him all this stuff so he could see all the pieces, and then he was like able to just rapidly jam out this mini. Oh, look at this breakdown the back.
The hind armor.
Yeah, with the faces on the sides. I forgot how many detail you did. Like every angle. By the time all this stuff, like you had all this stuff done, so that we could hand it off to him, and he did the whole sculpt in he was able to do it in 48 hours or something, and get it to us, because it's like he had details on every zone.
I don't remember if it made it to the last figure, but it was intended to be a poor creature. I mean, it's menacing, but it has been mistreated by devils and demons. So as it has some parts cut off. I think one head doesn't have ears, and the other ones.
We ended up putting all the parts on. You had that initial one where it had there were blind eyes, and one had no mouth and whatever.
One was blind, and the other one has no ears, and the other one has no mouth, and it has some prosthetic metal prosthetic attached with chains.
But it wasn't scary enough. But I kept But the idea, you're like, this thing isn't deadly enough, so I'm gonna strap like razors to its teeth. I was like, we're keeping that, and that's in the final. Like, it's got metal clamped to his jaws to make it even more dangerous.
Yeah, you can see the hinge on the jaw on the bottom.
Yeah, so that one in the upper left has like the blind one.
Oh yeah.
Jaw, it's like
the eyes look gouge out.
I've got the final here. We can look at his the final guy.
Yeah.
And it has the metal strapped to the jaw, bolted on those crazy metal plates, and all those armor details are still there. The little faces on the sides, like all that cool little art is those tiny little things that you might not even notice, right? You might not notice that there's a face on the leg or a face on the thing, but that was like, 15 sketches by Felipe later. You have all this stuff to make this crazy glowing guy. You have the Doberman muzzles still.
But I think that's the Dwarven Forge feeling. You have figure, you have terrain, but you can always find something in the terrain, in the figure that you haven't noticed before. Some skeleton, a worm, or a face hidden in some part of the armor, something.
The thoughtful.
We have Easter eggs in our pieces.
Yeah, thoughtful touches. We call those fun, all those little details that, especially if you're going to sit and paint the thing, you can find all these neat little bits. Yeah, this guy was awesome. He was fun stuff. And then we showed the Raven Queen statue when Drew was on. I think he did those sketches for Wildlands. All that stuff ended up getting cut or held, let's say, because it's in the archive from Wildlands.
Who knows?
Well, it'll see the light of day at some point. It's we have a whole there was a whole little.
A lot of people were very into it.
There was a batch of stuff, right, that didn't end up making it to our final. We put that stuff on hold. What else? Oh, the other. I forgot to ask for this one. The Bayou barge. The front of the Bayou barge has that crocodile skull on the lantern that Nina sculpted. That was like, I don't know, a year before we launched or something. You did this cool, before we had even anything, you did this cool sketch of this like creepy barge with a big gator skull on the front.
Yeah.
I think is that when you came to New York for the summit? I can't remember.
It wasn't going to be even a barge. It was going to be some makeshift woods.
Yeah.
With a guy with a. I remember that, but I can look for it if you want.
Well, yeah, it was a fun.
We do have a lot of art.
We have a question.
No, I'm just saying, like, we do have a lot of art in here.
Well, we did this whole art summit for Wildlands in 2019, September of 2019. We had you and Jacob Miller and I forgot about that guy. I gotta get that and oh man, I'm blanking on his name. Wonderful artist that came in with us and the whole team, and we did 5 days of drawing and in teams, right? Like sitting, brainstorming and drawing in groups, all these sort of exploring all these different things where you tried to put antlers on everything. And remember, antlers were all the rage. You were, oh man.
I'm just looking through the other stuff that we have here because we've got a lot of stuff from you that we can still show. We haven't even touched on your comics or anything.
I sent you the barge, Chris.
Oh,
I'm gonna get the Myrmidon. Hold on.
I'll download that real quick.
If you want to show it.
Yeah, I'm going to download that real quick and I'll pop it up while Nate goes to look for the other thing. Because he forgot one of the coolest pieces you've done, so he's going to grab it right now. Because we do have the art for it, and it's a very good piece. It's one of my personal favorite pieces that we've ever done. Here we go. So there's the boat picture. Yeah, so this was initially... You're right, it does look like something that he just threw together instead of an actual boat. Like, it looks like something that he, like, did, like, makeshift. Like a little skiff. Man, I wish we could actually somehow sculpt little flies and gnats to be around the lights, but we have no way to make that happen. I think he found it. I hear him coming back.
I'm going to copy the t-shirt shop
Yeah, absolutely.
here. Yes, if you want to check it.
Cider.
Yeah, we can do that. What's up?
I found some cider too.
You're supposed to. He didn't draw the ciders.
I know.
We're supposed to.
That twist off. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh, is this the fancy stuff again?
Yeah, it's been
Oh, it's
sitting
the
in
fancy
it's been
stuff.
sitting in the fridge since last stream.
Yeah,
That just means it's gotten
built.
better. This is the art of the barge,
Yeah.
which is gonna be my autobiography.
Oh, and that thing stuck with us. Like it was like a year later, when it was time to do the thing. And he was like, "Hey, remember that cool thing that Felipe did?" And we're like, "Yep, let's do it."
So I'm gonna make a little command so we've got a way to pop up your shop whenever we want to.
I of course broke this guy. I realized you did the spined devil from
Yep.
Hellscape also, didn't you? I was like looking around at stuff. I keep finding Felipe things. You
Perfect. All right.
It all started in Caverns Deep. There was a lot of beasts in Caverns Deep because they were all like contaminated by the
Yep.
spores. You remember? We had the bullet, remember?
Yeah.
And the mounted Jorgrim and
feel-
the hack.
I feel like we end up making minis that
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't find in other places.
Grimorna, the hag you did. Man, I managed to break the Myrmidon in the way.
Oh,
Well, it's just one of his weapons. You have that picture though, right?
we
That
do.
was
I'm gonna bring
a,
up the Myrmidon right now.
And Eli sculpted this guy.
There's a lot of versions of Gremona casting spells, floating on an ice circle. Or
Like all over the place. Yeah, Grimorna was a crazy expression. Of course, I can't find my mini, but you have yours. Yeah, this was the Myrmidon concept, and then Eli sculpted it and changed the.
that's the Myrmidon.
Yeah, who just came to life in Caverns Deep. I mean, in Wildlands.
Yeah, we got him back, baby.
It's finally That was all you, Chris.
It wasn't just me. It was a concerted effort. That was a fan favorite for so many people.
It's awesome.
Like I know Finley was pushing for it. Hamster was pushing for it. I think Eli.
Well, because he sculpted it.
Yeah,
Wait,
Eli
cut-
sculpted it, but also
cut to the final.
bam.
Boom.
I'm so excited for this piece. I got so many unpainted because I wanted to do like all sorts of stuff with them.
Oh, this is the one without the darker wash too. And I gotta find a battery. He's got the LED. Yeah, but I don't have the battery up.
I'm sending you the hacks, Chris.
Woo.
Okay.
And you did this guy, right? The Spine Devil.
Oh, you did the Spine Devil
And-
too?
Yeah. And he-
Yeah, I'm going to look for it.
Dragos was just
He
talking
is-
about it. I got a bunch of those guys unpainted too because I wanted to do
Here's the
Spine Devils of a
hack.
bunch of different colors. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah, which you did. We used as methods or whatever. There's Grimorna floating on her thing. That was a
Yeah, bring her
Boris.
back.
Boris Wellison sculpted that.
Yeah.
That guy is just. He's unbelievable. He's like. That was another fun.
That's fine at Devil.
Yeah, the Spine Devil is great.
And what else?
Man, the Cerberus. I didn't realize you did the art for so many of these.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well, so the magic is this guy doesn't sleep, and he's like, you're 7 hours ahead of us or something. So I'll be like, oh man, we need a whatever, and then he'll jam something out, and the next morning there's art because he's been like up all night doing it, and it's like it's amazing. We can do such fast turnaround.
We should do the fan building giveaway soon.
Oh yeah, yeah. We take a quick break from Felipe to do our giveaway.
Excellent.
And show our fan build of the week, and then we should show Felipe's fan build of the week.
It's true. So we'll do that. So let's what's a word we should use, Felipe? What's a word that we should use for the giveaway?
It's not Aarakocra.
Yeah, just one word that's not terribly difficult to spell.
What?
A word.
A word
that people have to type to win the
A
giveaway.
word? People has to type, and it's not Aarakocra.
Not Aarakocra.
So I have to be evil with this.
Yes.
Well, make it something that people can spell pretty easily. I don't want people to not be entered.
Well, let's try Cthulhu.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, perfect.
That's got two H's in it, right? There's an H after the L.
CTHULU.
HU or just LU?
I have to write it.
Somebody tell me how you spell Cthulhu in the chat, and then there's two H's, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, we said something that's not hard to spell. All right. Well, okay. You see it? Yeah. CTHUL. Yeah. There's only one L though. Six of clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. CTHULHU. Just copy and paste. Yeah. Just copy and paste. What Ilian posted. He got it right. Nephlite also got it right. What are we giving away today?
We're giving away 1,000 souls in the honor of the great old ones.
But U.S. only, right?
Yeah. We're giving away. I have no idea what we're giving away.
Probably a starter dungeon is the safe bet.
It's either a starter dungeon or a starter cavern.
I think he asked us to do starter dungeon for a while.
We're giving away a painted set, or you can have unpainted if you'd like.
We can do unpainted. We've had people ask if it's painted or unpainted. We usually default to painted because it's usually what people want. But if you really want it to be unpainted instead,
if you win, you can choose painted or unpainted. U.S. only.
Yeah, shipping is
either
U.S. only.
A starter dungeon or a basic cavern. I don't remember what we were supposed to give away.
I'm pretty sure it's starter dungeon. I'm pretty sure he asked us to do starter dungeon for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Excellent. So we'll let that run for a while. Yeah. And then let's get the fan build going.
This was a wonderful thing I woke up to in my Twitter feed.
Yeah. Bam. Here's the fan build.
So it's a chess. What was the classic module that had the chessboard, Castle Inverness? What was the I don't know. You come into the room, and it has like wherever you enter the chessboard is how you have to move. It was like a great. It's just a great puzzle. Like, anyway, it's like such a cool using the sidewalk pieces. Well, this is Noir Killer, right?
Yeah, Noir Killer on Twitter, or the Noir Killer on Twitter. The person who is just Noir Killer on Twitter has a privated account.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So the Noir Killer is the one who did this build.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Using the it was Ghost of Inverness, right? It was something. It was in Inverness.
I'm not sure.
I think it was Inverness.
Ghost of Inverness.
Inverness, the castle Inverness.
Oh, Inverness, not Avernus.
Not Avernus. It was pre-Avernus. It was like.
Well, that's confusing.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't confusing at the time because there was no.
I forgot to bring up that
Inverness.
When everybody was talking about second edition stuff that they really liked, a bunch of people also said Dark Sun.
Anti-Paladin. Oh yeah, dude, Dark Sun was like bonkers.
I'm not familiar with like any of these.
There's no metal, and you gotta like use tortoise blades, and like it was it was like, yeah.
I'm not familiar with any of it because all the games I've played, we never do like modules, so I don't get familiar with the with that stuff as much.
Look at this. Well, that was way back in.
So Inverness and Avernus are completely different places. That's awful.
Inverness, it was a castle with a big dungeon thing, but I don't know. This like the chessboard. Like, how fun does that look? Like, I want to do that battle. It was a super. Yeah, you know what? Dark Sun was sick. Like, first of all, the concept art, it was all like Brahm, whatever. So like there was this texture. Like the art had like it was just gritty and dark and awesome. And then it was everybody had psionics and there was no magic and there was no metal and it was all post-apocalyptic and like it was nuts. You could be a Thicreen and it was like it was wild.
This is a really clever build.
Yeah, I
My
love
dungeon
this.
master is willing to have Dark Sun back.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, if you had to choose between Dark Sun, Planescape, Dragonlance, or Spelljammer, what would you choose?
I've heard you bring up Spelljammer so much recently.
Yeah, I hate it, but it like it's stupid. But at the time it was like I was like, whoa, spaceships and things. But I don't know, like the name I guess just kills me. But and also you don't really need to have spaceships to travel between the worlds. Like just go there, just open a gate. But anyway, what would you like? What would you choose, Felipe, if you had to bring back one of those settings?
I like Spelljammer and I like Planescape.
It seems like
I like both, but I think that Planescape is more necessary because it's the conjunction of everything. So
connects everything in its crazy world inside the I don't know. It was, and all the different factions and.
There's a point, and is that I want a Nautiloid.
Yes.
I want an unlimited Nautiloid. And I know that if they release Spelljammer somehow, there will be a big Nautiloid. So I can place all my man players on it.
Well, there's 3D people have made 3D, like you could buy a 3D printed art. I think it's Arc-Villain Miniatures, Arc-Villain Games Miniatures has an unbelievably sculpted Nautiloid, like 3D. You can buy either an STL or there's people on Etsy that'll print it and sell it to you. Like outrageous.
I want the Nautiloid that appears at the opening of the Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate 3 has such a cool opening.
That was.
Have you seen that cutscene? I know you don't really play video games much, but you've seen the cutscene.
It's outrageous.
It's wild, and the whole like putting the parasite in your eye and like all the.
Well, just everything, just scouring the thing, and then like just plane jump. It was like, yeah.
It's one of the things I showed because we've run into Illithid. We've run into like a downed Nautiloid with no actual Illithids in it in our game, and so we run into like a downed Nautiloid in our game, and I was just like, hey, by the way, like the people we're talking about, and then in another game with Chelsea, we ran into actual Illithids, and I was just like, oh, they make people hosts, and she was like, I don't. What do you mean? And I was just like, here, watch this cutscene, and she lost her mind.
Well, the
Oh, somebody's saying Ravenloft is actually the best one. Planescape seems to be the most popular, shortly followed by Dark Sun. There's one other person in here who really likes Spelljammer, and a couple people who like Dragonlance.
So when we went to the last convention of ever, right? PAX East, right, which was last week of February before like the world, at least the U.S., caught on fire. Felipe was like, wait, you guys are going to PAX East? You've got to get me some Baldur's Gate 3 things. He's like, whatever it is, I don't know, like kick down the door, steal all their stuff, like whatever they've got, you've got to get me, like whatever it is. And they built a castle. They had a full-on castle. They had probably an 80-foot by 80-foot booth that was a castle wall, so you couldn't even tell what was in there. And they had inside, they were playing the cutscene, and then they were doing live gameplay. Like, they were trying to play through the first 45 minutes or something in front of a live audience and hoping it went well. Whatever. They also had a life-size Illithid you could take. You could take a picture with a mind flare and stuff. So I tried to get. So it was like a mob scene. Like you couldn't get in there, but some of the team came over to our booth. We were in the Elderwood booth, and they looked at something like, "Oh, awesome!" I'm like, "Wait, you guys are working on Baldur's Gate 3? Like, I need stuff for our guy Felipe in Spain. He needs it. You don't understand." They're like, "Well, we don't really have anything, but you can get we've got a lanyard, like maybe a thing." So we got a couple of lanyards from them.
No, I use it at school.
Yeah, well, that's all they had. They had nothing. They didn't have shirts or whatever. But I was like, they're like, "Oh, we can give you a lanyard." And so I think we got a lanyard, and then I took a picture of the thing. But I went to see the cutscene because I was like, all right, we got to see it. And was it
the Larian Studios guys, like the developers?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
They've
awesome.
been super communicative.
They were fired up. They were like really excited and like were super geeks and into it. And they were excited about Yeah, so we gave him some free minis.
I've been incredibly impressed.
Here's
with
some Dwarven Forge minis. We need give us your badge lanyards.
I've been really impressed with how communicative they've been with like the fan base, given how large the base of people they're talking to are. Because this is like a massive project, and they're still like being completely open about the entire development process.
It's awesome.
It's been very cool.
Well, it's good because
they will never recognize it, but all the things that are happening in Baldur's Gate 3, the Mind Flyer invasion and all that stuff, is the Aragorn's party's fault.
That's your fault? You did it?
Yep. Yeah, because before we knew all that stuff about Baldur's Gate 3, and that in our adventure we recovered an Nautiloid's engine,
Whoa.
which was buried. So the Mind Flyers captured us, and they made us recover the engine of the ancient Nautiloid that crashed. So all the things that are happening now is our fault. Someday it will be canon. Someday.
That's awesome.
That's excellent.
It was Inception. You seeded the ideas in. Well, the Nautiloid is like pretty much the coolest thing to come out of Spelljammer, right? The Manta Ray Spelljammer ship itself was pretty cool, but like it's the Griff and then the Yogi and the Phlostogen. I don't know, like there was a lot of stupid like the Hammerhead ships. I feel like it's
one of the most appealing. It's because it's a wild design choice.
It's very Cthulhian,
but it's also very easy to understand it. That's like it's one of the easiest ways into like understanding like aberrations and kind of getting like that entire.
It was definitely one of the coolest designs that they come up with.
So why don't we take a look at Felipe's build?
Yeah, you want to show off your fan build?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, show off this build behind you.
Before I show it, you have to know here in Spain. We extend Christmas for a week because today the three wise men come to our houses and bring gifts to the kids and all
frankincense and myrrh, and
we have a lot of magic critters bringing gifts, but they are welcome always if they bring gifts.
Do you have the Krampus in Spain?
The Krampus, I know it, but it's not known here.
It's like a German thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it, and I fear it. There's a Hellboy tale about the Krampus that it's wonderful. Well, it's a tradition here to represent the nativity with figures and miniatures and that.
Yeah.
And it's my excuse to build a big Dwarven Forge setup.
Do you need an excuse?
Yeah, sometimes I do, but I don't need an excuse. But this is put from December 8th to now. So next week, I guess I'll tweak it. But here it is. You see it?
Can we go full screen?
Oh wow! Yeah. Let's go.
Hold on.
All the way
here.
Hey, there's your autumn. Did you paint your Dread Hollow?
That tree is painted. I ordered painted trees and unpainted trees, so I can mix them and I don't want it to be them all the same color, so I can mix them. And this is the Aracocra party, by the way. Okay, here we are, and here's the scene. Can you see it? I don't know. What are you?
Yeah, get closer.
This is the closest I can get.
Oh, you got a little sheep in there.
The angel. Oh, look at this bridge.
The other wise men. Wait a second.
Yeah, you got the wise men and their camels coming.
Yeah, here they are.
Nice.
Here's Drist, because why not?
We need to get you some Forest Banks.
And here's a Strad and his skeletons.
Strad?
Classic Christmas Strad.
Yeah.
It's just
I put Strad instead of Herodes.
Oh,
it's just a Christmas Carol, but with Strahd instead of Scrooge.
Oh, I love everything about this.
You boy, what day is it? You got a little angel just hanging out on the porch.
Yep.
Oh, she's above the manger, above the stable there.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, that's
And
awesome, Felipe.
This is the Cocra logo.
Nice.
Oh, you freehanded a little. Oh, that's really intricate.
Did you
actually.
paste that? How did you
Yeah, it looks like a drawing.
Yeah, it's
Mod Podge on?
it's a sticker.
Ah, I've heard of these stickers.
We should make some stickers.
All right.
Man.
That is awesome, Felipe.
So we're gonna roll the
That's
giveaway.
budget.
We're gonna roll the giveaway in like 30 seconds. If you haven't put Cthulhu in yet, go ahead and type it. It's CTHULHU. We've got 45 people already in, so I'm pretty sure everybody's good.
That's
This is for Starter Dungeon. We'll roll in a couple more seconds, and then we do have a couple exciting things to show.
Great. So let me ask you. So Felipe, do you DM at all? Do you DM and do some
Not too
builds
much.
in DM?
Not too much, just sometimes for the kids, but not too much. Sometimes when at high school with my roommates, yeah, I spread the word of D&D.
So you
Wherever I
don't. So
go.
you don't actually even make builds to run games on with your dwarf board. You have a massive collection, and you
no.
don't even use it for games.
We use it for our games because we have two collectors in our party. One is the master,
Got it.
the other is me. So we join together and we build whatever we want. So you bring the houses, I bring the caverns, and so we build humongous things.
Do you build the day of the session, during the session, before the session, like?
It depends on where we play. If we play in the master house, he uses his pieces and he tells me, bring dungeons or bring the forest or whatever. So he builds his part and I bring my pieces, so we join them together.
And then you sort of he frantically builds right there before the session, or?
Yeah. If we play in my house, then we have to wait until the master comes and then he starts building. But we prefer to go to the master house, so he has already built the scene from the night before.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I have.
I'm gonna go ahead and run this giveaway. Just get it out of the way. It's going to Kite Nerd.
Yay, Arnold!
You know,
He's a long time forumite.
I have seen him on the
Like,
forums a lot.
He's been on the forums for like 1,000 years.
Excellent.
Yeah, and he's a great dude. He we went. There was a Kickstarter for some minis, and there was this female rogue mini that was awesome that I really wanted, but it was like there was two minis I wanted, but it was like the 4 mini deal was the best one, and he wanted the same thing, whatever. So we ended up pooling, and so I got the bigger thing and sent him the mini, and he sent me the $8 or something. So we saved the thing. I don't know. We get the same. This awesome. It was Minx Miniatures, I think, was the. But it's just like they made these really kind of.
There's so many
pretty cool.
There's so many cool little mini companies.
Yeah, it was a good. It was a good one.
Perfect.
Well, congrats.
Yeah, so Kite Nerd, I will message you and get that set up. We'll just need to get your address, and then we'll get the starter dungeon sent to you. But I'll contact you.
Yeah.
Then.
Woo.
All right.
So what do we? Should we look at the future a little bit? Well, let's do this first. So. Look at these quick. So we're gonna do some couple of reveals, cause what the heck. So Felipe, it's become a tradition now that you do the tote bag design. You want to go full frame on the front cam.
Oh, on you?
Yeah, this was the Caverns Deep. Can we even see that?
They can. A little bit higher.
I can't see around.
Oh, that's fair. A little bit higher and to your left.
My left.
It's not getting lit as well, but it's...
No, you get the idea. So this is the Caverns Deep. It was the boat thing that was... This was a fun... Right, so this is the Caverns Deep to this awesome tote bag. Then... And previously, we just sort of... haphazardly slapped a DF logo on a thing and called it a day. But then, starting in Caverns Deep, we're like, hey, let's make something cool. And so we got some Felipe art. So then in Hellscape, we got
A little bit higher. And then we're good.
I don't know why this is so hard.
That looks good.
We got the Cerberus, and look how cool Felipe's signature is down there. It's like it looks like the EKG or whatever. Right, the cool Cerberus. So this was the Hellscape tote bag. That was the Caverns Deep tote bag. And now, do you want to reveal the Wildlands tote bag art? Never before seen.
You bet. Let me set that up real quick.
Do you want to say anything before you show it, Felipe?
Of course.
What do you want to say?
Do we want to show the final product, or do we want to show...
Oh, let's show the process.
All right. Let me turn that off, turn this on.
I put some sketches there so
Yeah.
you can see the.
This is pretty early on. What does that look like?
So first of all, Felipe is like, well, it's got to be. Felipe is like, well, it's got to be a cool beast, thinking dragon or wyvern, and sketched a wyvern on the Oblivion Nexus. And I was like, well, it's cool, but like it's too passive. Like this wyvern's got to like rip your face off. Like it's got to be, come at me.
Yeah.
And the other challenge is it has to read, because it's printed on canvas. This thing, the lines can't be too fine, right? Like so, the original Cerberus art that he did for the Hellscape bag was like, the factory was like, you guys are nuts, and we had to go back and like simplify everything out and whatever. So it's got to be relatively simple and clean, and it has to read kind of negative. So then he was like, well, what if we did the dragon? That was the dragon you had. We could do that, and Venkura looks kind of neat. And I was like, ooh, that feels like good old school. And then he's like, well, I got an idea. I'm going to attack you with the wyvern. I was like, all right, I'm in. You had me at attack. So then we went from this concept, right? That was what was going through your brain? Or was it, is that how I remembered? I don't know. It was only like a month ago.
That's the wyvern. That's what you see when you hear some flap. You see some leaves flying around you. You look up and you see that.
Excellent. And then we've got this.
So this is then the wyvern with
the Wildlands word behind him.
Written behind him. But I was like, well, it's going to be negative. It's going to be on a solid, like a black tote bag with the right thing. I don't think it's going to read, because it has to be inverted, and it's a whole thing, and it's impossible to read Wildlands. But it was super cool.
And then
that turned into...
That was another option, but it was not the final.
So it'll be something. I guess we got some wyvern stone in there. Got a wyvern over some wyvern stone on a big old tote bag, and it'll be, I don't know. Janet's messing around. It
Yes,
might be Wildlands green ink on a black bag. It might be red ink on a black bag. It might be purple ink on a black bag.
Because it's all going to be one color, yeah?
It's going to be one color ink, probably on a black bag. But there's going to be this. Good old wyvern.
That's going to look great. I'm very excited.
I can't wait to go to the grocery store with it.
We use the.
My wife uses it all the time for like.
We use the Hellscape bag for going to the grocery store every now and then, which is interesting.
I used it as a baby bag when we had
It's one of the sturdiest bags we have.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was dynamite. So then we have another. We're gonna show two other pieces of art that Felipe did that I think we're gonna. At some point, we keep threatening to do this. We're gonna launch our merch store. So this was a T-shirt design that Felipe put together.
This is very big.
That will at some point show up in the merch store. So
It's
who's
very,
gonna?
very
We should we should have done the giveaways. Guess what this is? If you.
Well.
You're a little smaller.
see if they can get the references.
They will. It's like, how do you?
Yeah.
So that's the black and white version. You want to talk to it, Felipe?
Yeah, there are several versions, as always. So we can choose the better.
Let's do the full color.
You want to go straight to
Yeah.
full color, or do you want to?
Oh no, do black. Yeah, do the gray. Oh, this is just red. Right?
Boom. Yeah, all that happened was the words changed there, but.
You do the gray, the shades of gray, and then the.
That's it.
Here's the noir version.
PHP.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AD&D PHP, and then do the full color.
Yeah, people are saying first edition player's handbook.
Yeah, it's the classic cover.
People are saying, is that
That's
Nate in front of Sasul?
Yeah, it's the DF
With the
team
red
minis
letters.
in front of the Sasul from the original AD&D.
They're saying it looks like Lolth on top of the
Do
statue.
the color. Do the full color.
Yeah, let's do the full color. Bam.
Now you're really in that awesome. Oh man, that player's handbook is.
Let's get in on these details here. And people are asking if that's the Dwarven Forge staff.
Yeah.
That's it. The full color.
Yeah.
And up the top, Toby and Nina are prying the eyes out of Sasul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About to, they're all about to get killed. Yeah. That's so awesome. Well, especially it just triggers so much nostalgia for me, too. Like it's such a fun.
It's a fun little reference.
And then we got the other one.
People are asking, is that really going to be a T-shirt?
Yeah, that's the plan.
And then is the shirt going to be the full color version? Or
I don't know. We got to figure out what printing and whatever. But
the problem is the more colors you have on a shirt, the more expensive it is to produce.
Yeah. But if we're gonna do a shirt, we might as well.
Who's on the bottom, Mason Chris? I guarantee it's not me.
It's Eli and
is that Michelle on your left?
Michelle and myself and Aaron and Stefan.
So it's Aaron and Stefan over here, yeah. And then Toby and Nina on Sasul.
There's the minis that have never been produced of everybody in.
People are saying maybe make notebooks. They're asking when they can order.
Yeah.
We don't know. We're trying to.
We're working towards it. It's in the.
Full color for a poster, black and white for a shirt. That's what people are saying.
Not crazy.
Yeah.
And then we have the other design, which is.
See if anybody can guess what this is.
This is another.
The other is an even more clear reference.
This one, yeah, like this one's super easy to
ship one to
recognize.
Larry Elmore and see if he gets excited.
Bam! Look at that. Let's get
It just needed to be done.
Let's get in on these
The
details.
Doom set. It's so. You're the best, Felipe.
That's classic. Yeah, like this just harkens straight back to like a very very classic era of
Oh yeah.
of art.
I've got.
It's very good.
I stared for endless hours at that cover.
The red box.
That's the.
I've never met Larry Elmore, but I hear he's super awesome.
I feel like posters would be a pretty easy thing for us to do.
Oh, that's
The mimic there. If you notice in the treasure, there's the mimic.
And then bam, and that's like this is like a rough idea of what it'll look like on a shirt.
Wait, go. Where's the mimic? Zoom in.
Zoom in on the mimic. Yeah, it'll be easier if I go back to the.
It's in the in Sisul's treasure. You can find.
Oops.
Well, it looks like a treasure, but
Oh yeah. Wait.
it's arranged the same way that the mimic is.
These right. This right here.
The best.
Revealed as a mimic.
That's excellent. Yeah, that's exactly the.
The pilot.
Yeah. The columns are the pillars from.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's the
Guardian
actual
of Dawn.
pieces.
The KS1 pillar.
Yeah.
The floors are the.
The floors are 2 by 2 pieces.
2 by 2 floor pieces.
Huh.
And it's good old Sasul.
All the little details.
Yeah. It's classic Felipe.
Man, I can't wait for us to get these out the door. Yeah, I didn't notice the treasure.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I mean, it's what Felipe's saying. It's like the Dwarven Forge thing is to have little details that you don't notice the first time.
You did that other crazy. Do you remember the? I know you remember the crazy floating Dwarven Forge thing. We got to do something with that too. That is bonkers. It is like.
That really has. It's not finished yet because
It's too much for a T-shirt. Like I don't know what to do with it, but it's like the MC Escher, like everything in one. Like it's outrageous.
let's look for it. It was. Oh, I don't remember where it was.
Man, I can't wait for us to
It
get
was
into.
a very huge build of a lot of pieces, ancient pieces, Dwarvenite pieces, Dungeon
Everything.
of Doom.
Yeah, resin
All
pieces all the way
merged
up through
together.
Hellscape.
I wonder if anybody's done Jenga with Dwarvenite.
It was countless.
What would we have to
pieces.
use? Just a lot of pillars? What would we use for
friction.
that?
Elevation blocks.
Makes sense. Has to be something long enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people are asking for posters as well as shirts.
Posters.
But people are pretty excited. I feel like a poster would be a pretty easy thing to pop out with.
Maybe.
There's a lot of places that will do those like.
We want nice ones, so they gotta be like.
They'll do print to order.
It's gotta be like a nice quality. They gotta, nice thick,
I'd love to
heavy
see
paper.
somebody frame that stuff and
Yeah.
put it on the wall.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
55 millimeter stilts
Turn
to do Jenga. The 55 millimeter.
That would be fun.
The magnets add to the difficulty.
That would be. Or you do
Making coffee mugs.
The
It'd be so
dread
nice to-
game with stilts for the Jenga.
It'd be nice to sell the Doom mugs too, because like you've got the Doom mug.
Doom mug is awesome.
I'm sending you, Chris.
Okay.
The Doom mug, after, I don't know, 2 years of being put in the dishwasher, is now just a black mug. It didn't. Doom got doomed.
What if we make it the mug where Doom doesn't appear until you pour a hot liquid inside, and then Doom like pops up on the side? I'm sure that'll be fine and affordable.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, I'm very excited to put this on. Hang on. Let me get this in here.
It has a lot of detail everywhere.
You think?
Yeah, I can already tell from here. This is.
This thing is nuts. This is like.
It's like looking for Wally.
Yeah, where's Waldo?
Here we go.
You can see the whole.
Yeah, so there's the whole thing all together. You got the little Underdoom, drift stones, and then
There's the old. There's a resin pillar. There's the Sewell up at the top. The rat book on my side. The double doors. Crystal caverns. There's the resin, that mouth that we were talking about from Wicked Editions down in the bottom left. There's the Hellgate down in the very, very bottom underneath the cycles, the middle right by where your cursor was. It's like,
That's
that's
really
really
there's
cool.
the bridge from Dungeon of Doom.
shining crystals. At the bottom is,
Of course.
is not finished,
and there's Sassul again.
Yeah.
but the bottom is supposed to be Hellscape, but it's not finished.
It's not colored yet.
You can
Yeah.
see a little bit of the Hellfire door.
Yeah, you see the Hellgate. You see the lava pouring
The
off.
Hellgate.
People are saying they're getting some Escher vibes from this.
Yeah.
They're also saying they would love to have this as a poster.
Yeah, it's a fun.
Will the shirts have magnets?
Modular magnets. Yeah, the shirts still have sleeves that come off. You can.
Modular shirts.
Yeah.
You buy both shirts and you can actually just take the sleeves off and mix and match them.
Well, maybe you can have long sleeves, short sleeves, or tank top. You can just boop, boop, boop. You can just like
Hey.
trifecta sleeves.
All shirts with
It's
sleeves
the-
are modular once. You know?
Yeah, it's the thing.
Have you ever just like ripped your sleeves off of a shirt to make
While
it
I
a
was
tank?
wearing it.
Yeah, like while you're wearing it. Have you ever been around those guys who will just like tear their shirt like?
I've destroyed a lot of things, including Dwarven Forge pieces. I'm trying to think if I've ever purposefully destroyed a shirt while I was wearing it.
I knew a guy in high school who made a show out of like tearing his sleeves off like every couple weeks. People are asking you to do it like right now.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. Just
I
tear the
think I
sleeves
have
off that.
I give it a whirl, but I don't know. I went as I was Brendan Lee the Crow for Halloween and just like wrapped like 4 rolls of electrical tape around because his whole like abdomen has electrical tape holding it up and thing and pants whatever, and then couldn't get up, had to like cut it off with a razor blade in a club nonetheless. Like it was, but that was not. Let's see. I can't do it. This is like.
I mean, don't actually do it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't. I mean, I'm sure you have. I'm pretty sure you have like 30 black T-shirts.
I think
but,
Hulk Hogan pre-scored it. Like she like.
Have I ever seen you wear a T-shirt that wasn't this? How many of these do you have?
Just a giant stack. I have I have a you know in The Simpsons when Homer Simpson like opens up his closet. And
yeah,
it's
I'm just
like so that's my drawers. I have the bottom drawer is all the same pants. Then the top drawer is all the same shirts, and then the side drawer is all the same underwear and socks.
Yeah, I'm just
like I just have the same. The 2 things that are different are my boots have different color laces, so I can tell that because I have 5 different pairs of the same boots, but each with a different type of lace, so I can tell the pairs, so I know which boot goes with which boot. And
so you don't get 2 right boots.
Yeah, I don't want to have like because you wear them out at different rates, so I want them to both be worn
okay.
the same whatever. So, and then I have my sweatshirts are slightly different.
Yeah, I was just realizing that like
they're all black.
Genuinely.
I'm just the same because I don't have to expend. It takes me 3 seconds to get ready. The biggest choice is which color laces, right? Which of the 5 pairs of boots am I going to wear in the morning? That's because I don't have. I can get like seconds. I'm ready to go. I don't even have to think about it. It's like bum, 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 bum. Just take the top of everything, bam, 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 and go. I have so many other things to think about, important choices to make. I don't want to think about my clothes.
Save all your creative energy for the pieces.
All my energy for everything else.
Use none of it on your wardrobe.
Zero.
Yeah, because I just realized just now that like you genuinely are the only person I know who does the cartoon character thing of like I have one
uniform.
outfit.
I don't have to make any thought to it. Zero. Like ever. Yeah. It's like it's the best.
It's just amazing because I have.
You know who else did that? Einstein. Just saying. He was a smart dude. It's the word on the street.
Was he?
Nah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I never met him.
I got other things. So many other things to think about. It's like it's the best. I have 0 choices.
It's funny because I have way too many shirts, and I still don't put any effort into what I put on.
Choice of lunch.
I still just grab random things.
Same, right?
Yeah, you eat the same thing every day.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich every single day. Like anything that I can automate and not have to make a choice about, I will.
You're just doing like a self-imposed Groundhog Day.
No, because then I can it saves brain space for all the important things, right? I'd rather be pondering in this next Kickstarter which of these 250 pieces are we actually doing? What's the thing? I want to use all the processing power for the important choices and non-essential choices. Like what am I eating for lunch? What am I wearing? Forget that. That's like, that's background. That's just like zero choice, zero thought. Just boom. Go.
So the reason you order the same food all the time isn't because
I don't have to think about it.
Isn't because you're a picky eater. It's just because you don't want to worry about it.
I just don't have to think about it, and I know it works in a thing, and I can just get past it and I can go to the next thing, and I've got like, because then what if you order something different, and it doesn't work, and you don't like it, then you haven't eaten, and your energy's low, and you're losing energy. Like, I just lost energy thinking about the food I could have been spending on whatever. Like, I want to just focus all my thing on the important things.
See, now while I don't spend any time at all like worrying about my clothes, which is obvious, I do like stress out a lot over what to order at like a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because anytime I see something like I haven't eaten before, I'm like,
Instead,
I gotta know, right?
You could have already figured it out by just ordering the same thing that you ordered the last time you were at this restaurant, and then be sitting there thinking, well, if we only have 8 sculpt slots to allocate, like what are really the best 8 things to put in there?
Do you realize how many Einsteins we could have if we just stopped making clothes? If we just stopped making clothes.
If everybody was just naked, it would just knock that all... Anyway.
Everybody would be reaching their potential if we just got rid of clothes and food.
I think this is a sign that we've hit our... we've hit the point where it's time to call it a night, I think.
Sorry for going on that tangent, Felipe. This is very important for me to pursue.
This is important. Anyway, so does anybody have any questions for Felipe?
Yeah, has anybody got any questions?
before we wrap up? Felipe, do you have any questions for us?
When are you going to do the Dwarven Gates?
I don't know. You
The
want to make
next-
them for the?
The next Kickstarter question mark?
Big.
Do you want to make them for the?
I'd like
You
to.
remember the Erebor's Gates in the Hobbits movie? We need that.
Oh.
With the two giant
Should it is it
dwarves.
should that be our Oblivion Nexus for this one?
I saw. What did I see? I saw part 2 of The Hobbit in the theater in the high frame rate, and it burned my eyes. So like I just couldn't even like. I don't know. Did anybody else watch it in the high frame rate? It was like watching this like.
You're talking about the animated or the live
No,
action?
the live
I'll
action.
send you a
That's what I.
screenshot.
Yeah, that's the thing is like the live action. Because what happened was, and so this is the thing. When people always say like,
so no, I didn't. I don't think I didn't see it. But yes, we're gonna make big gates. Yes, it's like right now it's slated for this next thing.
should that be our Oblivion Nexus for this one? That's the one that we
Maybe,
make like a
the
big
chase.
like. What
Yeah,
do you
there's-
guys want to see out of a big gate?
Currently, there's some big, ridiculous dwarven stuff slated. Who knows what's going to happen between now and launch? But
That's fair.
currently, it's slated.
I guess we ended up dropping a bean after all tonight.
Yeah.
Huh. Thanks, Felipe.
Facts.
I just have to seize all the opportunities to remind you that the Dwarven Gates are necessary.
That's fair.
One
Well,
day, people, please, people, do you want Dwarven Gates?
everybody's losing their mind. Yeah.
No.
Well, wait. So if they're big dwarven gates, are they just regular sized gates for most people?
Ha! Yeah, it's just a regular door.
It's just a regular door.
We did kick around the idea of having a door that has a small door in it. For
I don't know what the
halflings and
tooling process would be
hobbits.
for
I mean,
that, but that'd be
halflings
so
and gnomes.
fun.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be functional. You could just have the big, the main door functional. The second one is sculpted in and has the knob. Or whatever.
It's just like saloon
Which
doors
they
on their
also
side.
did in Monsters Incorporated, which I just rewatched with my kids this weekend. But yeah, like the little, because it makes sense, right? If you're a gnome, you don't want to have to like use the doorknob up there. Like you want to use your little, you wanna use
All the gnomes
half-
have to carry a step ladder everywhere they go.
Yeah, who's
just
gonna
in
do
case.
that? Or mage hand.
I guess that is like the rough thing. Like if you're a business owner and you have to accommodate both dragonborn
Right.
and gnomes.
That's a big
We
range.
never talk-
Goliaths, again, like,
We never talk about like the thought process that has to go into doors in D&D.
What
You've
about-
got races that are like 8 feet tall and races that are like 3 feet tall.
What about stairs? What's the height? What's the rise and run on stairs? If you're, what about chairs in your tavern and
man.
tables?
Yeah,
in the
everything
bar
just starts
like,
falling apart.
What about the beds? I guess the bed anyway. Like, well, the bed has to be big enough to accommodate.
Yeah, at a
like-
hotel, do you have to be like, all right, these are like our gnome rooms and these are our dragonborn rooms?
Yeah, but what if it's a mixed party, or what if it's a thing like,
Wow, yeah. What do you do?
Slash, what about serving size? Right? Does a gnome eat as much as a
Does
dragonborn?
a dragonborn like
We
end up
know a
having to pay
halfling
more
does,
for
right?
food?
A halfling is straight up like is gonna eat.
Yeah, a halfling. It all evens out because they just order like 3 different breakfasts.
For dinner. All right. Well, let's wrap it up.
It's like the cat door in the
I
castle
have
door.
to I have to get on the phone with the factory
It's fair, we've
in
got-
24 minutes.
Yeah.
Which would be really fun. But it's it's like that.
Now that we've opened that philosophical quandary.
Yeah. Any other parting words, Felipe?
Thank you for allowing me to say hello to all the Dwarven army. Forgive my English, please. It's
You've
a
been-
little rusty and I know it.
You've been perfectly fine,
Felipe,
honestly.
your English is amazing.
Every-
you rolled a 20.
Every European I know that I talk to, every European friend I have, always apologizes for the English, and they speak more eloquently than like anybody I know here.
And you know what? Who
Constantly.
cares? Who cares about your English? Your art is perfect. And,
Yeah.
You're such an amazing collaborator to have, Felipe. And it's that amazing mix of, you're a geek and a gamer, you're a Dwarven Forge fan, you love the little Easter eggs, and you're wildly creative. And it's just like it's always the best. Like you know how to translate the stuff that will, create the things that will come to life in such cool ways on the table.
I think that's the thing, right? Is like just seeing you talk about how much you love this stuff. It like comes out in the work. There's all these little details, and the fact that you come up with your own ideas while you're working on it, and you actually contribute to it. Like it's great.
And you know the stuff. You're a collector of the stuff, so you know what to make so that we can, what we can actually make. right? Not everything can actually be made.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be surrounded by creative people like you is just amazing, and being there in the office is even more amazing. Seeing how everything develops, forms, and end up being a reality is.
You have to see the new office. I want to see the new office. Honestly, we did a walkthrough today about all the things we need to sort of fix and finally. We haven't ever fully moved in here. We're here, but we're not like. But as soon as there's as soon as the world's safe and travel again, we'll have to get you to come back to New York and come join us here in the All Forge.
With all the changes
I'll
that
be
have,
waiting.
Yeah.
with all the changes that have happened recently, I can't wait for us to be able to actually get everybody together in the new space finally. Like Andrew was talking about, like wanting to actually come meet everybody. When,
it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
No. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for contributing all of the amazing art and ideas and creativity that you've helped infuse in our work. And
Thanks to you, and thanks to all the Dwarven Army.
Right, you guys are the best. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week. I don't know what we're gonna do next week, but I don't know.
I'm gonna put together. I've got a list of ideas, and at some point when you've got some breathing room, we'll go through and like figure out what we want to do over the next couple of months, probably. Yeah.
There, good plan. And Hobby Hang tomorrow night.
Hobby Hang tomorrow.
And Build of the Month Tuesday next week. Then on
and then
the
we're back
Wednesday.
here. Back here and we're back here on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody. Good night, sir. Thanks for staying up late.
Bye, people.
Bye everybody. Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Have a good one.